Hey, this is Chris with BeerTownAustin. I'm here at Austin Beerworks for another episode of Over a Pint. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh,
Thanks for coming, man.
too soon.
Screw you.
All right, so I'm going to talk into the mic. This is Austin Beerworks. We've got first name and last name.
Will Golden.
Mike Graham.
Mike McGovern.
I'm Adam DeBauer.
Austin Beerworks. So, guys, what are we drinking? I guess we've all got something different. Why don't we just, we can each just talk about what we have here.
Sure.
I've got the IPA. I think you do too, yeah?
I have the IPA as well. Basically, what we were trying to do with our IPA, we wanted to do a really clean, bold, American-style IPA. This is definitely for the hop heads, mid-sixes on alcohol, big American hops, really fruity, kind of floral nose on it. It's exactly kind of where we wanted to go with it. I think this is the beer for, the guys that really are looking for the hoppier beers and, that type of thing. So
It's. Why do I keep talking into the glass? It hits the spot.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it's tasty. I like it.
awesome. Yeah, it's definitely supposed to finish dry, leave a lasting bitterness, but have a nice bold malt backbone to back it up. Just a well-balanced beer as far as hoppy beers go. You can kind of go too far on the hoppy side, I think, and become a little harsh, but it's a well-balanced beer all around.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Mike, what do you have?
Sure. So I got the Extra Pale Ale, the Peacemaker, which is, I don't know, I guess a really baby brother of the IPA. You can tell the color. It's a lot lighter bodied. Really what we're going for with this beer is just light bodied, balanced, and smooth. Just a easy drinking beer that you want to have more than one of at a time. Great for a hot summer day. It's the lowest alcohol beer we make. It comes in around 5%. Super simple malt bill, really kind of mellow hop profile, but you can kind of taste every part of the beer. And again, it's balanced, and something that I think want all our beers to have is kind of finished dry and clean. I think this beer really does that well, and honestly, I'm super, super excited about it. Really happy. Will and Adam, the guys that came up with the recipe, think they did an awesome job, and it's funny to be excited about. It's not a particularly exciting beer. It's hard to explain to somebody why this is a really cool beer, but I think it's right what it should be. And
I guess that's what the other extra is for.
exactly, It's extra special. Yeah, we just took the special out, but it's going to be a great summer beer.
Yeah, it's very nice. And what's this guy here?
So I'm drinking Black Thunder. It's our, it's a lager, and I think it's probably going to be the big surprise for people. It's hopped a bit more than a lot of other darker beers, but it's a lager. It's smooth. It's clean. As Graham was saying, we want all of our beers to be well balanced, and it really well balanced. But the just nice little hop bite to it is going to be a bit of a surprise for people. I think they're going to really enjoy it.
You call it the surprise thunder? Thunder surprise?
It's more so just a lot of people have preconceived notions about darker beers, and I think once they crack open the can or the tap, whichever way they're drinking it, they'll be pleasantly surprised. It's just got a little bit more of a little different flavor than they might be expecting, I think.
Yeah, I like it. It's because it kind of gets into that roasty territory, but then back to, I guess, hop forest or whatever you want to call it. Adam, what do you have?
I'm drinking the Pearl Snap Pils. This is our version of a German-style Pilsner. It's real tasty, real hoppy, but it's still very balanced. Again, I think the real key for all of our beers is definitely more hop forward, but balance is something we're really interested in trying to convey. I think it's a fantastic beer, but if you're looking for corollaries, there are a couple of breweries out there making great Pilsners in this day and age. Fantastic example, Victory Prima Pils. Another more local fantastic example, last year's summer's Hans Pils from Real Ale.
Oh yeah, I was a big fan of that.
Yeah, myself. I just don't think there are enough examples, and we really wanted to bring something to the table that hit on every cylinder, that you could have more than one of. This is about 5.3% ABV, and it's just, we use mostly noble hops, the exception being German Magnum for the bittering. It's pretty aggressively hopped from start to finish. This is a true lager beer fermented cold, And it is, as you can tell, I've drank a lot more than the rest of the guys here. It's pretty awesome, in my opinion.
Very nice. Yeah, these are all, like you said, very balanced, and I like the diversity. You know, you've got, I guess, lots of representation here at the table. So tell me a little bit about, I guess, the where these beers came from, and kind of what is your, your philosophy with brewing, and what you really want to, I guess, bring to the what you want to, bring to the table here in Austin.
I think the brewers probably let you guys talk about your brewing philosophy. Put you on the spot.
Basically, what we wanted to do is, we've noticed somewhat of an imbalance on some beers in the past that I've been having down here, and we wanted to really bring like a really nice, crisp, dry finish to a lot of the beers to complement the hot weather down here. We still get a demand, obviously, even though we're still young, a lot of people have been asking us about, imperial stouts and barley wines and things like that, which we will do small batches and, kind of specialized versions of that in the future. But as far as the hot weather goes down here, I think that demands more of a dry, balanced beer that finishes nice and clean.
Yeah, definitely.
The reason we went with cans, obviously, is, this is an outdoor town. There's tons of reasons to go with cans, but people love going tubing. They love going out to the park. You can't take glass with you. You can obviously take, cans of beer with you. And that was a huge drive for us to go with cans rather than bottles. But that's part of it.
You guys have a lot of cans, too. How many are we looking at right here?
This is about 160, 170,000 cans right now. And we've just got the Fire Eagle and the Peacemaker, but the Pearl Snap's printed and on the way.
There's actually another whole section on the other side of the brewery that has the rest of them. But
these things, they're all empty, and you would think they would be light, but I tried to lift one. They're kind of heavy still.
Cans themselves are pretty light.
Right.
You probably can't pick up the whole pallet.
I bet I could. We'll do a segment after outtakes.
But yeah, I think each of these stacks has about 4,000 cans on them. I forget the weight per can, but yeah, it adds up quick.
The really fun thing, we have an entire pallet of nothing but lids, and it weighs 3,000 pounds of just lids. And if you think of how light those things actually are, they're a tenth of the actual entire weight. So imagine 3,000 pounds of lids. It's actually about 300 and some thousand lids. It's insane.
Going back to, talking about cans, there's a lot of benefits.
Thanks for derailing.
Yeah. That we feel like they protect the beer better. They're a lot easier to recycle and transport, so better for the environment. They don't shatter everywhere, a lot safer. And you can take them places you can't. But the downsides, one, you have to order a whole bunch at a time. And the other, it takes a lot of space to put them there too. So that's what I think what prevents a lot of, especially starting breweries, from canning. And the other thing is just customer perception. Cans have a long-standing association with inferior quality beer. Luckily, more and more quality microbreweries are starting to can their beer. There's a lot more options available, and it's starting to change. But that's kind of a challenge we're really looking forward to, is kind of challenging people's perceptions of what canned beer really is.
Yeah, and I think you guys have some good styles to kind of make that segue, where it's, your stuff is definitely very approachable, but also dynamic enough that it's interesting, and it's, I think, going to turn a lot of people, positive for cans, also positive for better beer. So tell me a little bit about, like, how you guys all got together, and, your I guess, eHarmony or Match.com. How did this happen?
Bromance.com, actually.
So Adam's the guy. Adam's the common link between.
We got to do this real quick.
Sure.
So I was born and raised here in Austin, Texas. Michael Graham and I grew up here in town. We been best friends since we were early in high school. And he went to the University of Colorado, discovered good beer while he was up in Boulder. I went to Baylor, and then after that, grad school in New York. Became a huge beer drinker, beer fan all throughout that time. And that's actually where I ended up meeting Mike McGovern here. He's originally from New York City, but he and his wife are both University of Texas graduates. He holds an MBA in finance from UT. But when they found out they were having a baby, they moved back to Austin, which was right about the time I had actually already left New York, and I was working at a brewery in Maryland. which is where I met Will Golden. He was the lead brewer at that brewery. That brewery was called Flying Dog Brewery. He was the lead brewer. He soon thereafter left to take over a brew pub, where he ran the brew pub for 3.5 years. I left Maryland, came back to Texas, was living here in Austin, worked at Real Ale. Those of you watching the Over the Pint right now may remember Over the Pint #1.
Yeah, this is second appearance, and the original right here.
I'm getting to make my second appearance this evening. Very excited about it. But so yeah, it's just kind of fun. You know, I tend to collect people who I care very greatly for, and I'm really fortunate in that we share the same passions, you know, to a large extent. And the really fun thing here is that we never fight over things that matter. We only fight over the bullshit. What color should this be? You know, just that kind of thing. Shouldn't we all wear yellow boots? No, we shouldn't. Yes, we should. You know, it's never the important things. It's always the silly things. So it's really fun to be surrounded by your best friends and getting to work with them every day.
And make beer. That's your job. That's also fun. Well, cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah, look for Austin Beerworks soon in cans and kegs, and also, I guess, T-shirts and glasses and whatnot. Anyway, thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Cheers, y'all.
I'm empty. I got to get a new one. Cheers, guys.